Hello, this is Scott Sackett. I'm working on a 4-page script for Greyhaven Comics, and I thought it would be a good idea to do my thumbnails on my ASUS VivoTab Note 8, and so I thought I'd shoot a video so I could share it with you. If you saw my other video about the tablet, you'll see it's kind of a small tablet, but I am running Manga Studio 5 on it successfully. Like I said in the previous video, it's not a big tablet, it's small. You can see here, here it is compared to, say for example, like a comic book here or something. Here's it compared to a comic book. So you can kind of see, it's smaller than a comic book, and this is kind of a small comic book, but but it's really portable. I would compare it to maybe like an iPad mini in terms of size and portability. And so it's handy. I've used it in the past for working on thumbnails on my script. It's kind of handy. And so I thought I would shoot a video. I'll do a page of thumbnails and shoot a video. I'm not going to talk so much about the thumbnails as I am on working in Manga Studio 6. I'm going to try and hold the camera and draw, so if I get off, I apologize in advance. Let me check out my layers. Okay, I am ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to read my script. I don't want to show the script on the screen if I can avoid it. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing in this is there's an establishing shot. And so I just have I download the Frieden, or I bought the Frieden pencils. He has a set of Manga Studio pencils. So there's an establishing shot, and I'll see if you can see this. Oh, you can't from the shade. I went in and kind of broke down, so I kind of know what I'm going to draw, but I'm going to just do it on here and make a video so you can see working. The nice thing about working with this tablet is it is small, so it's real portable. And like I said, I've kind of got this figured out, what I'm going to draw, where, and how the story goes. Okay, so up here, and the nice thing is this is big enough to draw thumbnails in, or reasonable thumbnails. None of this will be anything that ever gets used on the page. This will be something that I will drop in the background of the actual page on my laptop, or on my desktop, and use it to work from. Okay, so the first shot in this is a shot. There's a shot. The story takes place on Mars. The story is called Golem of Mars. That's the working title. So the first thing is there's a shot of like this town, and so I kind of envisioned it's in like a valley. So I envisioned it'd be something kind of like this. And when I was reading the script, I was thinking about, there's a city, I believe it's in China or Hong Kong or somewhere. It's the Lampong Walled City or something like that. I've seen videos of it. It's basically a slum over in Asia, and I apologize, I don't know exactly where it's at, but that's kind of what I visualized on this, actually, because this sounds like just an area where there's just it's just overran. It's in a canyon, and and there's just all the poor people live down in this canyon. It's kind of in shade, so I'm imagining it kind of like a cross between the Tatooine scenes in Star Wars and maybe like some of those cliff dwellings the Indians had in the Southwest. So it's kind of like that. Anyway, I'll draw something like that, kind of just to get a little establishing shot. And I'll go in a little more detail when I draw the actual pages. This will be just something I'll just use to get started. That way I'm not starting with a blank page. Okay, so then we go down and we go in and you see this town or this city. It describes them as adobe structures with like kind of narrow areas clogged with humans and Martians. And there's our hero is going to be walking through here, so I figure I'll probably put him kind of big, maybe. He's in the center of the page. That's probably not a good idea. I'll move him over just a little bit. I'll put them right here. If you're thinking about buying one of these ASUS things, I think they're like $300 or whatever. I recommend it. Again, I'm not drawing stuff that I'm going to use professionally in it, though. This is very it's limited in terms of like because of the size. You can do some decent stuff on here. I think it would take a lot of patience, though. Okay, so it's kind of I'll draw like a winding street kind of here. And I'm not going to mess with perspective grid, but if I were to, this thing handles it with no problem. And I'm not putting in real panel borders either. Like I said, this is just a rough. Okay, so then the next panel, this guy's going into a door. And this is a clinic. So I'll put a little sign there above the door. And he's going in. I imagine it kind of a smallish. Okay, hang on. Let me turn the page in the script. Okay, he goes into his clinic, and then he goes into like a sitting room for these patients. This guy's a doctor. So I'm going to draw it. I'll do kind of a... So I'm coming in here. That's him coming in the door. And then we'll draw, you know, just... Maybe there's like some cheap pictures. This is a poor clinic, so I figured there'd be like a bench. And there'll be people on the benches. You know, maybe there'll be some guy here standing up. Maybe that's him coming in. Maybe I'll flip this panel. I'll just kind of put a little there, and I'll put just a little bit of perspective on the floor. Yeah, this is pretty loose, obviously, as you can see. I'm at this point, basically what I'm working out is the pacing. I think I want him a little bit bigger. I'll put him like right here, like in the middle of the room. Like in this panel, I think I want him where you can see his face. Maybe same thing for up here. Okay, and then in this panel, he's going down some steps. He's going like into the basement, so I'm going to kind of do it. And it's supposed to be kind of a winding basement, so we'll show it. Just kind of go. It's supposed to be like rock, like it's carved out of the rock. So we'll show him there. Okay, so this is my first page of thumbnails, and I mean, literally, I could probably send this to them, but I think what I'm going to do is stop filming and go over it just a little bit more, just kind of clean it up a little bit. But that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like to work on this ASUS. I know I worked on it the other day on a video. Let me save that. I've loaded. Currently, I have. It comes with Office loaded. That's it saving. It comes with Office loaded. I have also purchased Manga Studio. It's Sketchbook Pro and Photoshop. I don't have Photoshop dialed in. Manga Studio I've used quite a bit. Sketchbook I've used a little bit, but anyway, that's using the ASUS VivoTab Note Tab 8 to create some art. I know it's kind of rough. A lot of people online have asked in various forums if you can make art on it, and you can absolutely make art on it. If you want to see, I'll post my finished thumbnails on my Tumblr. If you'll Google Scott Sackett Tumblr, you'll find me. That's SCOTTSACKETT. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, Scott, SCOTTD, as in David, and then Sackett, SACKETT, @gmail.com. If you have any questions about the device or using Manga Studio or whatever, I'd be happy to answer them. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a good day.